Welcome back to another Coach's Corner on the Athens Rock Lobster Network. Coming off a tough defeat at the hands of the Columbus River Dragons, Matteen Rad once again joined by head coach Steve Martinson. Coach Marty, the 4-1 scoreline didn't display just how closely contested last night's game was because of the two empty netters. This was a game that was played on a razor's edge. From your perspective, what were the deciding factors that went into the result?
Well, I mean, the number one, when they scored in their power play and we didn't. That was the difference of the game. I thought we had a lot of really good flurries that we didn't always get a good scoring chance. I thought we a couple times we could have had a few more scoring chances if we would have finished the plays. But, I thought we outplayed them. We didn't win the game, but unfortunately, that's what it is. Who outplayed who? But it was close. I mean, but I think we need a little better effort tonight.
As you mentioned, the power play was a difference maker, and our power play had been on a huge upward tick in the month of January, but their penalty kill was stifling, and we weren't really able to set up shop on some of those man advantages. I was curious, in your shoes, is it tough to not be overreactive with the power play unit and try to shift personnel in and out, or do you kind of trust your guys who have scored week in and week out to go and do their thing the next night?
Well, I believe that the guys that are scoring during the game should get the power play. So, you're trying to get your top scores out there, and really we're running two units. It just turned out because of the shifts that the one unit weren't first, more than the other. So that might change tonight. We'll see. But I thought, I didn't like some of our entries were just dumb. We cut it in the middle and instead of chipping the puck in deep. So, I didn't like our entries. Again, I thought, we got to take advantage of their defense. So we're switching some things up. Same personnel, but trying to get some guys, everybody on the same page. I didn't like our positioning and didn't take advantage of the style that they're killing at. So hopefully we can make a little bit of adjustment tonight and turn that around.
I was wondering, on 5-on-5, we saw a lot of guys that felt enter the zone and then ambush the net with the puck. It ended in good chances, but they defended it well enough to where our guys were kind of just pushing the puck towards the net at the end of it. Is that something you want to see more of, or would you rather try and see the unit set up shop?
Yeah, so if we beat their first guy on the rush, if it becomes a 4-on-3, we need to go in and try to score. And I thought there were some times that I'm not sure what we were thinking. We went in and we always have to have a middle drive. And there's sometimes we were a little bit too cute and didn't work. But, I think, I really think we got to get back to some better structure and better positioning and then get more shots. We didn't, it was too many times we didn't shoot the puck. And then, in the third period, we had opportunities to make plays and we shot the puck and missed the net. We had right in the end, we had a chance where both their killers went out to Carter and he dished it off and we won time rather than attack the net. We had a 4-on-2. So you can't make up your mind what you want to do, and not change. You have to adjust to what they're doing. And we didn't do that very well, but I'm confident we can do it tonight.
It was us who had opened up the scoring. It was created by causing chaos in the crease. Matt Garcia picks up a loose puck out of the calamity, buries it to take the lead. Is causing that kind of chaos, I know it's more easier said than done, but is that more of what needs to happen tonight?
Yeah, well, so I thought we had several shifts where we did that, and that was the one that ended up in a goal. But I thought there were several times that we hemmed them in they didn't do that to us. So I think we got to take advantage of their D, and when we get pressure on them and making sure everybody's going. And a couple times we let them out of the zone early, and just like the empty netters, we didn't pressure. We were four guys in the corner and nobody on the wall, and it was just too much time and too easy. So guys swinging and some guys out of position. So we got to get just back to 101. But I thought there was an opportunity that we could have had more goals out of just our forecheck and getting in there and working their D, and we got to do a little bit more of that tonight too.
I think it's easy for an outsider to look at the scoreline and say, the offense isn't generating. Well, it wasn't generating goals. It was generating a ton of chances, and we had 7 more shots on goal than they did. Did we catch their goaltender, Petesian, at his best, or was there more that we could have done to make him uncomfortable?
Well, he's a good goalie, and he's got a really good save percentage. So, he's one of the top goalies in the league, and if not the top goalie right now. So, one of the things you have to do when you're shooting the puck is get in front of him. He's not a real big guy, and we know that we can score on him. And it's one of those things. We scored 20 goals in 3 games, and then we get one. But obviously, it's they're a better team, and they're not going to give you those scoring chances. But I thought we had plenty of chances. Yeah, it wasn't a 4-1 game, but like I said, I mean, we just you got to get back up on the horse and get on your A game, and we got to bear down. And it's a cliche. You got to bear down and make score on your chances. But when you're not getting, that's really the reality. Is we just got to get some of those opportunities in the net, and I'm confident that we'll do that.
When you catch a goaltender on a good night, I mean, you talked about going into the zone with numbers and Carter drops a pass instead of, attacking the net. Is that the result of catching a goaltender on a good night and then maybe some of the guys start second guessing themselves?
Well, I think that can happen, but I don't know if it wasn't like we had 50 shots. I mean, we had, I think we had 37 or something like that. We had plenty of shots to win the game. I think sometimes we try to get a little too cute, and and I thought our power play, like their power play, they just had a puck in the net and the rebound goes to their top, their number one, historically their number one scorer. And that's one of the things on a power play is, I think we spent a little too much time moving that puck around the perimeter. But in the third period, we had a couple of posts. Milan hit the post and so did Jimmy. So it wasn't like it was garbage. We just didn't finish. And like I said, we got to make sure we're bearing down tonight.
You talk about hitting the iron. I don't want to get too philosophical in my questioning, but we have these chances that are either inches from going in or they hit the iron. Some people use the word unlucky in these scenarios. I want to know if luck is something that you believe in. In these close games, do you need the bounce of the puck, or does luck not something that exists?
I don't believe in luck. I don't believe it at all. I mean, you make your own, it's just doing things right in percentages. And that's all it is. It's percentages, getting pucks to the net, and then having bodies at the net. We always say when we shoot the puck, and we didn't do that in all our, on our power play, we want three guys at or near the net when we shoot the puck. And that means you got to be heading to the net. And there's a couple of times when we're, on the perimeter and we shoot and we put enough bodies there. But I thought overall we did a pretty good job of getting people to the net. And really that's what it is. It's the percentages. And yeah, you make your own luck.
Maybe not in regards to the power play, which we touched on earlier, but in general, are you coming into tonight wanting to mix anything up from last night?
Well, I thought we complicated things like on the goal. We're doing a reverse, and the guy's right in the passing lane, and there's not a lot of room to do it. And you look at such an easy goal, you can't do that against the other team's top line, and it makes it look really easy when you have a turnover. And then, one of our D kept moving and all of a sudden it's 3-on-1 in front and, 2-on-1 in front. And it looks really easy. It's because when we have the puck, people are going on their breakout positions. They're not going, in their defensive positions. So I thought there was a couple of times where we turned the puck over where we didn't need to, and we got to manage those better tonight. I think that's the number one, is managing our turnovers and making sure that, we're doing that in high percentage plays that we're going for instead of, trying to be too cute.
What about the goaltender? Obviously, Rosie only let in 2 goals. It's not like he had a bad performance.
Yeah, he's going back tonight. I mean, and I'm going to give our new goalie more opportunity next weekend, but I thought Rosie played well. And, there's nothing he could do on the second goal. And then the first one, same thing. It was a rebound. You'd like to have him control the rebound, but it was a pretty good shot from the point, and they had traffic. And like I said, it ends up right on McDonald's stick. And, he's historically in the league, he's the guy with the most goals, and 60 points in the ECHL. And so he's not the guy that you want the puck on his stick with with that kind of opportunity.
I also thought Rosie had a good game, and he's really found, it feels like, some consistency as of late. This is the first time that he has started 3 consecutive games this season, and he'll start his 4th consecutive tonight. What are you liking from Rosie as of late?
Well, we've always known that he's got talent, and he's got a lot of a natural ability. There's some things that I don't want to talk about that we've discussed about, what I think he needs to do a little bit better. And I've had my goalie coach in Allen, talk to him and send him some video and work on some drills. So there's some things that we think he can do to improve his game. But I don't want to say it on the air because I don't want anybody to hear. But he's a young guy, and he's just got to keep working on it, do a little bit extra, and shore up some of the things that I think all goalies, like every player. When you're done trying to get better, you should get out of the game. So we're trying to work on the things that I think that he needs work on, but he's quick and athletic, and we need him. We need him on his A game tonight.
You find yourself down late, and you have to start thinking about rolling the dice. What is the philosophy around when to pull the goalie out for you? Do you have a set time where you usually start looking? Are you looking to Rosie in that situation? I see him asking permission to go back to the bench. What goes into that for you?
Well, you're looking at puck possession. I mean, one of the things is you're looking at, okay, now we have three lines that can score. Some part of it is, you got to pull the goalie when your top player's on the ice. But, we got three lines. I mean, I feel like we can score any shift that we're out there. We just didn't play it very well. The second goal, we had our defenseman going in and swinging behind the net. We didn't have the puck. It's just guys out of position. Nobody took away the wall, on their first empty netter, and we probably should have pinched there. But we can't have four guys in the corner. You got to have somebody, they're trying to jam the puck up the wall. So, I didn't think, actually three in the corner. So just a little bit better positioning and not give them that kind of time.
I know you're not an excuse maker by any means, and I'm not going to sit here and try to make one for you. I'm just curious because they're obviously our closest opponent that we have in the Fed. They're 180 miles down the road, but that distance kind of more awkward to deal with than anything? For example, you go to Monroe the night before the game, you get a good night's rest in a hotel bed. For Columbus, you leave that day and you're on a bus for 3+ hours before you can hit the ice. Do you feel like that hinders you at all?
No, because we came in the morning. We left at 9:30, got to the hotel at 12:15, and guys went to eat and took a nap in the bed. So no, it's like a Saturday road game where you get to rest and stay at the hotel, and that wasn't an issue. They did the same thing when they played us, when we jumped on them. I just think what hurt us a little bit, we were in the practice rink and we did power play on Thursday, on Tuesday morning, we had a practice at 7:30 in the morning, and it was the only day that we were going to get the big ice we weren't going to get it on Wednesday and Thursday. So I didn't do any power play, and I just thought we were a little bit rusty, but and that's more of an, it sounds like an excuse, and I hate excuses. It's just something I got to be aware of. And I think maybe we could have used an extra day shoring it up because I changed a few things because of having everybody back and everybody in the lineup.
The last question for me, Coach. This is the first time, last night was the first time that they've defeated us in regulation this season. And really, you can look at the scoreline as 2-1 instead of 4-1 with those empty netters. These are just two very evenly matched teams. I want to know, are you under the belief that the path to the Commissioner's Cup runs through Columbus?
Well, yeah, it does. And like I said, I think we have a better team. Of course, I'm the one that built the team. So I think we have a better team. And I think we, I don't think we played our A game last night. I think we can be a little bit better. But one thing that's going on too is we play each other a lot. And Winston-Salem doesn't play either one of us very much. So in the division, they have the easiest schedule. And, I think it was set up like that so that us and Columbus are playing each other and they're getting we're in control of it, but we don't play them. We don't in either today. They don't play them anymore either. So they really have the easy schedule. And so it's going to be interesting going down the stretch. We've got to make sure that we take care of business ourselves.
One last question. Do you feel like that benefits you in Columbus, that iron tends to sharpen iron, and that might leave Carolina dwindling in the playoffs at all?
Well, it certainly makes a difference if you're playing, because some of the teams are weaker if you're playing and you're not being tested. So the only concern is it's in the short series when you're playing, you're not playing a best of 7. So best of 7, the best team always wins. Well, the best team should win in a best of 7. it's a little bit different. You can get a really hot goaltender in the shorter series. So, but I definitely agree with you about, it even though it's harder to get the points, you're playing, more meaningful games.